So how's it going, motherfuckers? So, as I said in the previous video, if you haven't watched this video, go watch my previous one where I talk about, my fitness experience, my goals, and my scoliosis. I've noticed that there's a lot of, I think this is a good thing I'm doing here in this video, not to toot my own horn, but there's not a lot of people who talk about this here on YouTube, and I think it's very crucial. A lot of people, there's people that are talking about scoliosis, but not in relation to working out, and I don't think there's a lot of people on here who, work out that have had the surgery. So, I'm here to say one thing, though, and I'm not saying in general about this, but I gotta say that squats suck when you have it, and not to do them. And why? Well, I was going to do that in my video, but I decided to, split it up into two different halves, just to kind of give you the background in one video, and then do another one right here. So, here's my experience with it. So I had never really squatted before until, post-surgery, after 5 months, 6 months, you're allowed to go back and work out a little bit. I was allowed to work out a little bit light in the house. I was just doing some curls and some military presses with my easy curl bar that I had in the house, but I decided to finally stop buying weights because that was getting way too expensive. Having to change the weights, it was a pain in the ass and all that stuff. So I decided, let me finally get a gym membership so I can get the full experience, so I can work every part of my body and finally meet the goals that I was looking to meet. So I decided to finally do that, and I got the membership, and so I decided what's one thing that's important, what's a staple of any workout, and that's squats. So when it's leg day, so I had my initial split going that I decided to start doing on my first program, and that was going to be biceps and shoulders, chest and tries, and back and legs, and that's pretty good split, right? For me anyway, it worked and it was getting me results, but this was towards the beginning. And I really didn't know a lot about leg work, workouts, but I was starting light with squats, and I decided, let me use this Smith machine, let me do it a more controlled movement, instead of putting the Olympic bar right away. And, I should have kind of known about this, because squats are, I don't care what anybody says, oh, you're not putting the bar right on your back, you're putting it on your traps, and you can make all the arguments in the world. You could do a low squat, a high bar squat, whatever the case may be. It's not a good idea. So I was doing these squats for a while. Every time I would roll around for leg day, I was going to do some squats, and I was starting to get pretty good with it. I was, I wasn't really going full down like I was supposed to, and I'm going to get to that a little bit later on, which brings me to the point of why I'm making this video. I had my belt on too, I was, doing it like regularly, regimentedly, and it wasn't like, I don't care what anybody says. If you're doing an exercise and your form has to be picture perfect every single time, then that's not a good exercise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the people out there, that are the deadlifting fans out there, and they think that's the #1 exercise to do on leg and back day. Okay, the thing is, I have seen so many stories, even personally knew an amateur bodybuilder that did squats, did deadlifts, and he has a fucked up back now. So, you could say what you want about certain exercises, and you could be like, oh, you're just not doing it with the right form. But until you get injured, that is when your whole outlook is going to change. So I'm doing these squats, and then all of a sudden, I feel this pain, like, right here. And so, of course, I want to continue the workout. So, I know I was fighting, I was fighting through the pain. Right after that, I started to then do my back. I started doing some seated cable rows, and I finished the workout and everything, but I was feeling like shit, and I decided, you know what? Let me stop doing these squats with a bar. Even though I was doing it with the Smith machine, I said, let's just cool it with that. And I did, and I didn't go back to it for years. I stayed away from it because I felt, you know what, there's so many other leg exercises I could do. So I still did squats, but I would do them on the machine, where you unhook it, and just I used the squatter machine. So that's how I got around that. So a lot of people will say it's, and it definitely is not the same experience. It feels a lot like cheating, I know, but sometimes if it's the means of preventing an injury, you just kind of have to do it. It's enough with these egotistical people, especially the ones online, the fitness industry. They tell you, oh, this is for pussies, that is for pussies, and I'm really sick and tired of hearing that shit already, because that is the mentality. Everybody will have you believe that unless you could do like a really heavy weight, unless you could, bench with 2 plates on the end, that's what it means to really get results. And it's really bullshit, because I'll tell you, like I said, not to toot my own horn, but I look a lot better than a lot of other people who could, bench a lot and shit like that. It doesn't really matter. It depends on all the different types of things you're doing. Just because you can't do one body part as well as another. Like I said, I think my strong suit is obviously my arms, to me. And I think a lot of other, there's people with way more impressive backs. One of my friends has a gigantic back, but his arms are not as detailed. Everyone's got their own strong suits. I mean, my weakest part is my legs. And so that is why I decided, a few weeks back, I said, I'm going to try squats again. I said, maybe my form wasn't on point last time. I was just, I just got back into working. I said, maybe a large exercise like that, such a, maybe I jumped up the weight a little bit too much. I said, maybe it was just a little bit too much too soon. And I said, now that I've, gotten a lot stronger, and my form has improved, and I'm more knowledgeable now, I said, maybe now I'll return to squatting. I said, because it really is a great compound exercise, and it's really a great way of improving your legs. And I said, and this time I'm going to do it the right way. I said, I am going to lighten the load, and that's exactly what I did. I took a look at myself just with the bar, and I don't care, because I don't have an ego. I don't care if anybody's looking or anything. Oh, why is this guy, look the way he does, but he's squatting? That means he's got weak legs. Fuck that shit. I don't fucking care. I was like, I'm going to get my form just right. So put the bar, start squatting. I go all the way. So, I decided, okay, I'm going to put 2 25-pound plates on each side. And I was doing that, so a few leg days rolled around, and then I decided, no, I'm going to up it. And I was still maintaining pretty good form. I put 2 45 plates on there, and I was doing it, and then, all of a sudden, I felt this right away, like around the 8th or 9th rep, the shoulder. Oh, my Lord, the shoulder, I felt it right away, a very familiar pain. And it was funny, because it was actually, I think, on the very same side. It was the left. And it started nagging me right away. And so I immediately put the bar back. I was like, I'm done right here. So you know what? I'm going to try now front squats, which is another thing that a friend recommended to me. So I decided that is probably one of the most awkward exercises I've ever done. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I unracked the bar. I did it just with the bar, and then I did it with 2 25-pound plates onto the front squat. And the shoulder pain wasn't there. It made marks on my arms. I tried keeping it to my chest, but it's just, I don't know. That exercise right there, that one's, I don't know. The front squat, I'm not saying it's bad, but that one's for the birds. You know, so I don't know about that one. Now I know I'm not going back to any of them, because then I had so I was doing that. I was doing buys and that. So okay, so the weekend rolled around, you know, and it was my off days, and you know. So anyway, so I got you know, it was chest day, and I'm working. You know, I also need to mention that I wear a belt for anything. I might take it off if it's like a lighter exercise, but most of the time I do wear a belt. Especially, I don't care what anybody says about it, you know, weakening your abs or anything like that. I might be a fan of Athlane X, but I disagree when it comes to that. I think if you got a bad back, you have to take extra precautions. You're not like everybody else in there. So, you know, if there's like something that somebody might consider to be pussified, then you're going to have to just go ahead and think that. So, and then I get home that night, and, you know, I even felt my shoulder bothering me during the chest workout. No, and it wasn't due to any bench press or anything, because like I said, it was the same thing that was nagging me from the day before. You know, from the last workout. The front squat day, the shoulder wasn't even that bad, but I felt it coming back right even after the squats. I mean, I think it's like after, you know, the fiber tears and everything just kind of settles in, and that pain was definitely there in the shoulders. And when I was pulling on that side, it really was, I mean, you know, or I should say push, really, because it was more of a push day. But anyway, I had the cables, and I was, you know, kind of doing a cross chest exercise, and man, I mean, that shoulder was nagging the fuck out of me, and I knew that's what it was. You know, this is the shoulder. It's part of the back. It's the rear delt, really, that was giving me problems. And it was like I said, it's like the same area. And then that night, last night, this shit was killing me. And this pain was traveling down, and it was mostly right in my hip. I was sitting at the computer, and damn, that shit, it was. And then I got up, and I went to go get something to eat, and then I felt this pain in my hip. And, you know, holy shit, I've never felt that. I hadn't felt that level of pain in a long time. The last time I did that, it's when I wasn't wearing my belt, when I was doing it, you know, at-home workout, and that was like in 2011. You know, and I stupidly didn't wear my belt, and I probably like leaned back a little bit into the curl, and, you know, I fucked my back up a little bit, and that was pre-surgery. So, needless to say, I am done with squats. It is too fucking dangerous. Now, I don't want to hear anybody about this guy's form sucks. He's got weak legs and everything. He works too much upper body. He's not concentrating. I don't want to fucking hear it, because I already said it was a lightweight. I was doing these slow controlled reps. It's the fucking second, technically third time something like that happened. Because like I said, my leg day was there. The weekend rolled around. I did the front squats, and, you know, I did my whole chest workout with my shoulder annoying me, and still, I'm just saying, I'm not saying squats are not good. I felt, especially since this recent leg workout where I said I'm going to strip the weight, I'm going to make sure I get my form right. That's what I'm saying. I made sure my form was good. That was the reason why I didn't get all egotistical and force myself to do more weight. I said, I am going to do higher reps. I am going to make sure I'm squatting fully, that I'm going to really get that good contraction on the legs. And still, it led to injury. And this is the thing I'm saying. They're not worth it. These exercises are not worth it. You could say they're great staples of a leg workout, and you know, for the deadlifts, you know, it's leg and back. I mean, why go through all these things? Like I said, I have never done a deadlift in my life. Never done a single day. And you might say, okay, well, your back is not really that big. And that's probably why. Fuck that shit. I don't give a shit. If that means, that I'm not going to reach the full potential that, I possibly could if I deadlift. I mean, the thing is, why would I take a risk with an exercise like that and then risk not being able to do any exercise? Because once you destroy your lower back and you fuck that shit up, it is gone for good. And the thing is, like I said, I'm already working with a handicap here, like a big one. I said my back is way more vulnerable than a normal person, so I've got to be smart about it. I mean, man, like, give me a break. I got, 2 titanium rods in my back, so it's like I need to really watch what I'm doing, and the squats are just not for me. Hey, look, I went back to them, tried them again, gave it a fair play, and it's not working out for me. I'm just saying, so this is just my advice. I think that, I'm not saying people, if you don't have any back problems, the squat is a great exercise, I think. I think that if you haven't had any surgery or any type of spinal fusions or anything's been inserted into your back, metal plates or whatever, I think that you should go for it. If you haven't had any of that stuff done. If you have, I would definitely say to stay away from it, definitely, because like I'm saying, it's not worth it. I could even tell just by those little pains and everything. And what happened to me last night, that pain I felt that was the prelude to, if I continue that exercise, something really bad's going to happen. And I don't think it's worth it. I think that's really, it is a dangerous exercise. I don't care where anybody says where you rest the bar. It is still on your spine. And the same thing. Even with the front squat, it is just the motion of your spine. It's like, it really is impossible to keep your back super straight during that motion. And I know whether it was the front or the rear squat, whatever it was. I don't know if the front squat was responsible for it. I think maybe that just might have been it aggravated it a little bit. Whatever the things, I don't like I'm not doing any of those squats. If I do them anymore, it's going to be on the machine. But, like I said, there's a lot of other exercises I'm thinking about really just, I want to switch it up. I haven't really done lunges all that much. I probably will go for that, probably. That seems like a much safer exercise that can really start building some mass. Like I said, I think that the number one thing I kind of want to build on is legs. I haven't really worked them that much. Like I said, really on leg day, I just choose one leg exercise. Because like I said, I really don't want to overdo it, because most of these leg exercises, they really do affect the back. I mean, that's why I think leg day is mostly paired with back day, and I have switched it up, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I think that it is really a bad decision to do those squats if you've had any type of surgery at all like that. And I regret doing it. That was a really bad pain. It really was. And there you go, guys. So there's some advice or anything. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have this condition, if you have any other back problems and it helped, I'm happy to hear that. So let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of people probably going to attack me and say, "Oh, try this, try that." But guys, no, it's not a good idea. People are always going to do that. Whenever anyone hurts themselves and they're like, "Oh, the form is bad." No, it's not the form at all. People always say that. You got to blame the person, not the exercise. It's all cliche. You can see it coming from a mile away. But I'm just saying, sometimes certain exercises are more high risk than others. Let's be perfectly honest, okay? So there you go, guys. Until next time.